Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Not gonna lie to you, today's video topic makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I've been asked about this pretty much like since I graduated college. I've been asked, how do you afford your lifestyle? How have you afforded to start a business? How do you afford to travel? How do you talk about finances with your boyfriend? All of these types of questions, and I've really shied away from answering them for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I understand that everybody comes from a different place. Now, I was born pretty modestly, very modestly, but I still understand that some people come from an even different place, for better or for worse than I do. And secondly, I'm just not an expert. Like, I always rely on resources and things like that to help me understand, so I never want to come across like I know everything. But with that said, I've been doing some thinking, and I have 5 tips that I think are pretty relevant to everybody that I've really been focusing on, especially in these past few years since I graduated college, moved to a new city, started a business, moved in with my partner, and have been traveling more than I ever have in my whole entire life. So I hope that this video is helpful for you guys. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the fact that I'm getting a little bit out of my comfort zone for you guys. So the first finance tip that I have for every young person looking to get better at adulting, I kind of hate that term, but it is what it is. Know your credit. So I actually partnered with an amazing company for this video. They're called Sesame. You may have heard of them before. I have used them for several years. I've been using Sesame since whenever they came out, pretty much, which I think I was like in my late teens or maybe early 20s. And I have loved their service. So what they do is they offer you a free credit report card that just helps you understand where you're at. Just to give you a little bit of background, I was clueless about credit, to be honest. My mom, she never had credit cards growing up, which I think is a good thing because it made me learn like the power of real money and not being in debt. But I think it also kind of made it hard for me to understand when I was ready to get my own credit cards, like how they worked and the importance of them and all of that stuff. So I had very bad credit habits when I was younger. And so Sesame really helped me just get a snapshot of like where was that. They also offer personalized finance tips for you, which again was so helpful considering I didn't have somebody who I could really go to and be like, hey, what is APR? Like, well, how do I, blah, blah, blah. Like, how do I do this and do that? So having a website or service like that is really helpful. Just getting like very vulnerable. I was very much in debt when I graduated college, and I just had a very unhealthy relationship with credit for a lot of my adult life. When I first graduated college, that was a big goal of mine, is to pay off my credit cards. By using Sesame, by using some of these other tips that I'm going to talk about, I was able to do that, and it has been such a huge weight off your shoulders. Sesame is also 100% free, so I mean, it makes sense. Like, I'm not going to tell you to buy something when you're watching a video that's trying to help you like understand how to save money and like use money better. So it's really great that this is a free service, and it's always been free, and so you can log on, get your free credit report card, and I go in and do it like every so often just to make sure that things are doing what they need to be doing. And then in addition to the credit stuff, they also offer free ID protection for up to $50,000, which is amazing because you guys hear about it all the time, I'm sure, like all the fraud stuff that's going on. It terrifies me, especially as a business owner. Ever since I registered my business, I've gotten so many more like spam calls and like scary, weird things on my credit statements that I have to like sort out. So it's really a big comfort for me as a business owner to have that as well, because I know that we're a little bit more vulnerable. Definitely go check it out. It's free. Just go to creditsesame.com. Now, number 2 and number 3 kind of go along hand in hand. Number 2 is save your money. Number 3 is get a side hustle. So put these together because it's kind of hard to save money when you're not making money, right? Like, I've been there. I've worked retail jobs. I've worked internships. I've worked, jobs that did not pay me a lot. And I understand how hard it is to like save money when you're not making any money and you're barely scraping by. So I have pretty much always had a side hustle since I was an adult, really even younger than that. And I think if you're the type of person who watches YouTube videos, I think a lot of you guys are probably really creative and maybe a little entrepreneurial. Most of us have some type of skill that we can monetize, if even a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be Bill Gates, or anything like that, but even if it's just blogging or creating videos or raking people's leaves, doing hair, well, I think you might need a license for that. Don't follow that advice. Doing makeup, doing styling, personal shopping. Like, I could go on and on and on. And in today's economy, like, there's never been a better time to get a side hustle. I actually did a video all about some side hustles that you guys can start from bed tomorrow. So I'm gonna link that down below if you need some idea starters. But even just in addition to that video, you can like drive for Uber. You can do, we have Shipt, like grocery delivery, Poshmark, sell stuff, amazing opportunities there from your phone. So definitely start a side hustle. Now, when I graduated college, I was working pretty much full-time for a startup in addition to my full-time corporate job. So I did not touch my startup money. The only reason I would touch my startup money is to pay my taxes, my business taxes, and buy like business equipment, like if you needed to buy a new camera or a trip for business or something like that. Other than that, I saved all of that money, and I actually ended up using all of that money to buy my first car, like my first new car, which I'll talk about in a second. It's actually a used car, but I used that for my down payment for my car. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without that side hustle. So definitely just save whatever you can and avoid the urge to spend everything that you're making. I could definitely have been living large, getting a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment, getting the nicest car, but I didn't. And that's the next tip. Number 4 is live below your means. Again, like if I wanted to have like, you know, a bigger apartment, if you guys have been watching my vlogs, you know my struggle with that right now. I could afford a bigger apartment. I could afford a nicer apartment. I could afford a nicer car. Lots of people can technically afford to do lots of stupid stuff, but I choose to live below my means a little bit because I'm able to save a little bit more money. I'm big on that, on paying off your debt first. And then hopefully, you know, later down the line, I'll be able to like take all the money that I make and live large while I'm not in debt. Do you know what I mean? So I apply this to everything: apartments, car, travel. You know, I use the subway when I travel. I walk when I travel. I don't just like Uber everywhere unless well, sometimes I do. It depends on how lazy I am. But most of the time, if you guys watch my Montreal vlog, you saw it. We were riding the subway. Like, that's the most affordable way to get around the city. Use the freaking subway. Get over yourself. I can be a little bit bougie sometimes, but try not to be, you know? I'm only 27. I don't need to like live large yet. I got a lot of years left, hopefully. And it's like that Dave Ramsey quote. It's like, if you live like nobody else does now, you'll be able to live like no one else does in the future. Something like that. I'm probably butchering that quote, but basically it's saying if you know, live a little bit below your means and sacrifice a few things now, when you're 60, hopefully you'll have been retired for many years and you'll be like on a yacht somewhere. That's my goal, right? So yeah, I just try not to like buy the nicest, newest things. I have a Canon T5i. I need a new camera. Like, let's be honest, I need a new microphone. I need a lot of things, or I think I do, but I tough it out. I use what I got until it doesn't work anymore, pretty much. That's something I see a lot of people, especially on YouTube and the internet, a mistake people make is it's like, I gotta have like the coolest things for Instagram. It's like, no, you don't. You don't, okay? And number 5, the last tip I have is just to communicate. Communicate with everyone in your life, your partner, your friends, your family. Now, I'm not saying that you have to tell everybody exactly how much money you make or anything like that, but especially with your partner, like if you're living with them, like I live with my partner, Norris, it's very important to have those conversations. They're not always easy. They're not always comfortable. I'm sorry about the siren in the background, but they're very necessary to have, to understand where each other is at, what each other's financial goals are, so you guys can work together and make smart decisions together. I'm so sorry about the siren in the background. You know, whether it's like eating in together, not traveling all the time, not spending a bunch of money on laundry service or cleaning service or whatever, like make those decisions together. You don't want to make, you know, a financial decision that's great for you and bad for him, or great for him and bad for you. Like, work together. Same thing for even like your friends. Again, I don't like tell all my friends exactly how much money I make or anything like that, but if I have a goal of saving a little bit of money that week, or I have a big trip coming up, or I have, you know, whatever, a big thing going on in my life that month, I'm gonna tell my friends, hey, like, let's not go out to bougie dinner like we normally do on Friday nights. Let's just like cook dinner at your place instead. When I was in college, we used to have these Sunday breakfasts, and like all of my friends, I had this huge friend group. I have no idea why, because I was super antisocial, but everyone would bring like one ingredient and we'd have this gigantic Sunday morning brunch, and that was like the only meal I ate that whole day because it was just so big and we always ended up with so much food. So you can do lots of fun things with your friends and your family that don't cost a lot of money, but you have to be open with them and you have to tell them like, hey, this is where I'm at. It will help with the whole, you know, keeping up with the Joneses thing and help discourage a little bit of that. So those are my 5 tips for kind of getting your finances under control when you're trying to adult. I hope that this video is helpful. Again, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Credit Sesame. They're a free service. They give you a free credit report card. Definitely go over there and check it out. That's honestly the #1 tip I have, and I'm so grateful for them for wanting to work with me because I've relied on their services for so long. So I hope that you guys check them out, and don't forget to thumbs up the video if it's helpful. This was a very vulnerable video for me to film, honestly, so I would appreciate it if you threw me a thumbs up and commented down below also, and let me know if you guys have any tips that I forgot about. Again, I'm no expert, so you guys probably have some great things to say, so let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't yet, just click on that subscribe, click on that bell too, and I will see you guys very soon for a new video. Oh yeah, one thing, my Internet Kid mugs, they're in finally, so you guys can order these also down below. Internet Kid mugs and sweatshirts are available now, so plug in my side hustle, following my own advice, you know? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.